My first podcast continues today. It's been around for a long time. I think maybe 15, 16 years, Rainer on Leadership, maybe even longer than that. I need to go back and find out when the maybe the worst, was that the first Rainer on Leadership was released. And oh my goodness, I think we were doing 2 or 3 podcasts a week. Well, now I'm still doing 4 a week, 3 for Church Answers podcasts and 1 for Rainer on Leadership. And there's just been so much information, just so much information. But for the most part, I've enjoyed it. I was about to say I've enjoyed every minute of it. There were some times I've struggled through podcasts. There's some times that I just really had a great time. But when Jonathan Howe and we were the first two that started the Rainer on Leadership podcast. Then eventually Sam Rainer came along to be my co-host, and he's been with me ever since. Sam Rainer, my son. Well, Jonathan and Howe and I said, let's try a new song for him. And he said, oh no, he's about to give us 60s music. I don't think it's 60s, but it sounded like a 60s song. It's called Hold On Tight, and it was about hold on tight to your dream. And I just love that. And I would actually get to hear the music before I went on. Now I don't even get to hear the nice lady who introduces this podcast and closes it. But I was just thinking about that. Hold on tight to your dream. I mean, I like that because we have all kinds of opportunities today. We can lament the technological changes that are taking place. Some of them we should, and we can rejoice at some of them that are taking place. And we've been talking about the work from anywhere movement, and we've been talking about what you can do to engender accountability, and how in the future we're going to be trying to measure effectiveness of remote employees, remote workers, not just the hours of them, but are they really the most effective? That's the next movement that's going to come along, and it will affect the church. But let's just talk about the work from anywhere movement and how churches can save money. I mean, it can be an issue of stewardship. And the reality of it is, many people, once they are not on site with the constant interruptions of church life, they can do other work more effective. You say, well, shouldn't the constant interruptions of church life be a part of it? Maybe, but maybe not. Some people just talk too much. But this new movement has given us a great opportunity for cost savings. Let me just share some of the ways that we can save costs in this. One way that we can save it is for our building and grounds. When I'm not the most technologically advanced person, but I have a new app, and I'm trying to find it right now. And my new app is called Lawn Starter. And see, I have different services that I can have. I have my bushes trimmed. I can have leaf removed. I can have a flower bed weeded. I can have mulching. I can have tree care, landscaping, cleanups, and I have my weekly mow scheduled on there. And all I got to do is push a button, and somebody comes to me. And you know what? I'm actually saving money because it's all under one umbrella. I'm not having to call this person and this person, and they have this one consistent price. I absolutely love it. So this new technology has its good. I don't know why I showed you my lawn care app, but I just did. I guess I'm too excited about little things. But how about the church? Where can it save money? One of the places, obviously, is an assistant. Assistants were among the first to go virtual. There were more virtual assistants before the pandemic than any other line of work. And assistant is a broad title. It can have all kinds of implications to it, all kinds of meaning to it. But assistants, and what many organizations found is that the cost of a 20 or 30-hour assistant provided by usually a contractor or some type of organization that provides them is actually less than you would have if you had someone on site. Usually those people, those contractors, do not include benefits. And if you had someone on site, it may be expected that there would be. So an assistant is one of those positions where many churches have saved money. Another area is financial and bookkeeping. This has been a big one. One of the reasons that I invited Cheney and Associates to be our partners, because they're their accounting firm for so many churches, do their bookkeeping, do their payroll, do their taxes. It's not just a bookkeeper. I mean, they have a package where they put it all together, and to have someone do all of them. Whereas in the past, you may have to have someone be a financial assistant, you may have someone be a bookkeeper, and you may have an accountant to do your CPA. Cheney and Associates, CPA firm, though, does it all, and so they put it into a package, and the cost of all of them is usually less than what you would pay for the different parts of them together. So you have the assistant where you can save money. You have the financial co-vocational movement. I love the co-vocational movement. What's co-vocational? Bivocational means that someone is not full-time minister because the church cannot afford to pay them full-time. Co-vocational means that minister, yes, works part-time like a bivo, but that minister has chosen to be co-vocational. It could be a co-vocational pastor who is also, say, a pharmacist. In fact, I know one who does that. Or the co-vocational pastor may be a farmer. The co-vocational pastor, we could go down the list. It could be anybody. And the co-vocational pastor is kind of the new movement that is taking place in many churches today. The co-vocational pastor means that someone has one foot in the market and one foot in the vocational church. And they can be some of the most effective people totally. And they're able to keep up with their responsibilities in the church. Sure, they're there on campus some of the time through technology. One of my sons, I have all three of my sons are in vocational ministry. Two are pastors of churches. And one of my pastor sons said, Dad, I remember when you were a pastor and I used to watch you and you had to go so many places. And yet now with technology, we're able to call, we're able to text, we're able to do it with our cell phones. Dad, you didn't even have a cell phone back then. I mean, it was crazy. We had one for our family. We used it sparingly for emergencies, and their mother, my wife, Nellie Jo, was the only one that could have it. And it's a new world now. He said he can contact people. He can do ministry anytime, anywhere. That's the case with the co-vocational movement. They have all the technology where many of them do not have to be full-time at the church, and therefore you can save funds. So you can save funds with an assistant. You can save funds with someone in the financial area, like a bookkeeper or a payroll person or a CPA, a tax preparation. You can save funds with co-vocational ministries as well. All this to say is the work from anywhere movement does have its downside. And we've looked at the accountability issue. We've looked at how do we not only create accountability for the hours work, but for the effectiveness of those hours. Again, something we'll be addressing on this podcast in the future. But the work from anywhere movement has been a great blessing for many churches, because now you can have people on your staff that you could not have had in the past just because they could not be two places at one time. But now with the virtual world in which we are, it is an opportunity for them to do so. An assistant can work from anywhere. Financial bookkeeper can work from anywhere. The list can go on and on. I think that this has been a great opportunity for churches to demonstrate greater stewardship. I think it's been a blessing for many churches when they do it right. It's going to continue to evolve. I'd love to hear from you about what's happening at your church and any challenges you may have or opportunities you can share with us. So just let us know. Go to info@churchanswers.com and shoot us a line and let us know some of the things that are happening at your church. So we've taken 3 episodes to look at the work from anywhere movement, how it's affecting churches. I think the net is positive. The challenges are still there, but when it's all said and done, we will be glad this new era came into our churches. Thank you for being a part of the Church Answers podcast. As always, thank Cheney and Associates for being our sponsor. Hey, you YouTubers, please subscribe to us and give us a thumbs up. And you who are listening on your podcast app, when you give us a rating and review, you get the word out. If it's a good rating and review, you get the word out so that we can get this ministry to others, that Cheney and Associates is paying the bills. Thank you again for being part of the Church Answers podcast. Tune in every week where we have 3 new episodes, brief, to the point, but hopefully helpful. I'll be with you in the next episode.